All right, guys, welcome to day 2. So we just started talking to Keandra, Zuriel, and Gemma about what types of activities we do on a cruise ship. And so far we have swimming. All right, guys, any other ideas? What do you think? All right, hold on. Let's get Gemma. All right, I think you have to... There we go, Gemma. What do you... Oop, I unmuted you. Okay, go ahead, Gemma. What do you think?
Read a book.
Ooh, that's a good one. Absolutely. Read a book. Zuriel, do you have any ideas about what you might do? What you might do on a cruise ship? What if you get hungry? What would you have to do if you get hungry? Where do you go at school when you get hungry for lunch?
Cafeteria.
Yeah, the cafeteria. And I hear on cruise ships they have these beautiful cafeterias and they have like these awesome meals. So we could also have, maybe with our family, we could have lunch with our family. Does anybody think of any games you might play on a cruise ship? I think they might have some games, maybe like beanbags, something small, because on a cruise ship you don't have a whole lot of space to do certain things, but you could probably play games. You might be able to, on the deck, you might be able to take naps like on a beach chair and look out at the waves. Maybe watch whales or dolphins. I bet you could do that. So you can watch the sea. All right, so we got a pretty cool list going on. Was anybody able to go onto the Google slide and write some of their answers down, or was that tricky for you guys? A little tricky still? Okay. Zuriel, what did you think? Were you able to get onto the Google Classroom?
But I'm gonna try today because I was busy.
Oh, no problem. Okay, it's up there, so you guys can go on. It's just, I have the date there, so if you want to look at yesterday's. And then today we're going to have a different question. So this one's a little bit more fun. Today's question after class is going to be, what do you need to pack if you're going on a cruise? What types of things do you think you should be packing in your suitcase? What do you think? I know one thing I would need, sunblock, because I get sunburn so bad if I don't wear sunblock. Let's unmute Gemma. Gemma, what do you think you would need?
Clothes, shoes.
Yep, clothes and shoes, maybe even your bathing suit. All right, Keandra, what do you think?
Bug spray.
A what?
Bug spray.
Ooh, maybe bug spray. Okay. Zuriel? What would you want to take on a cruise ship? What do you think? Go ahead, Gemma.
You could bring a hairbrush.
Yeah, a hairbrush.
And your toothbrush.
Yeah, for sure you would want your toothbrush. I think I would want to bring a book too, in case, like, what if it's really rainy and it's not so easy? Like, what if it's rainy and you don't want to be out on the deck and it's kind of boring in your room? I would probably bring a book, maybe a card game or something. Okay, so for today, that's going to be your question on the same page, on the same Google Slides. Okay, you're going to have a new one, and same thing, you can add pictures to it, you can write about it. Maybe you've been on a cruise and you can add pictures of your own. It's totally up to you. Okay, so along with that, we're going to look at our book today. And we're going to see if we can identify some of the parts of our turtle friend from yesterday. So I'm going to look in my book. Remember, this is nonfiction. So in the beginning of our nonfiction is our table of contents. So if I want to identify the parts of my turtle, what page do you think I should look at if you look at the table of contents? A sea turtle, ocean world, meet the turtles, nest building. What do you think? Where would we find the parts of a turtle? What page? Go ahead, Gemma.
The 26.
26? Okay, let's all take a look on page 26. That one has pictures of turtles that's the one about the sea turtle rescue. That's pretty good. What else might tell us, like, what part, like, where are their flippers? If you look through at some of these pages, where would you find the one that tells you where their parts are? And what the names of the parts are? What page? Go ahead, Gemma.
Page 8 and 9.
Yeah, you got it. Everybody turn to page 8 and 9 where you see this picture of the green sea turtle. Okay. So I printed a kind of similar green sea turtle here. And there's some parts of him that I'm not exactly sure where they should go. So the first one is scoots. What part of the sea turtle are the scoots? Where should I put this label?
Did I tell you about Dorothy, my husband, and I called it a baby one day and like,
Zuriel, do you think you know? Where's the scoots? The what? Yeah, the scoots. If you look at the first one here in the back, it says the scales on its shell are called scoots. So I'm going to put it near the scales on its shell. Right here. Okay. Next we have the flippers. Where are the flippers for it? Keandra? Yeah, these are his flippers or her flippers. And if we look back, it says their large, powerful flippers act like paddles. So that's what they use to help them swim and to help them get out to the sea from the sand. Okay, next we have the eye. Well, this one should be pretty simple. Everybody point in your picture to the eye of your sea turtle. You got it. There. And lastly, we have the shell. Where do you think the shell is? Can you point in your picture? Mm-hmm. You got it. So there we identified just a few of the parts. Now one of the ones that we missed that we have here is the back flippers. So these are still called flippers here, but the back flippers, that's how they used to dig their nest. So we want to remember that this part is how they're digging. All right, let me go like this. Okay. So looking at our sea turtle, we're pretty good. So I'm going to read a little story, a little more about sea turtles. It says, a sea turtle is a reptile, just like snakes and lizards. And in 2 weeks, we're going to learn more about lizards also. They are cold-blooded. That means that their body temperatures can change depending upon where the sea turtles are. Most, but not all, sea turtles have a shell made of plates called scutes. And that's what we just talked about. One of the turtles that wouldn't would be the leatherback turtle, because the leatherback turtle doesn't have a hard shell. Okay? The leatherback turtle has a shell that feels like leather, so it's kind of like a fancy pair of shoes maybe. The diet of a sea turtle depends on what species it is. Some sea turtles are herbivores. Has anybody heard the name herbivore before? There's some dinosaurs that are herbivores. An herbivore means it only eats plants that they can find in the water, so maybe algae and green things like that. Others are carnivores. Does Does anyone know what the word carnivore means? Carne, like a meat. Okay, so a carnivore is a meat eater. And those sea turtles that are carnivores will eat animals such as little crabs and jellyfish. There are even some that are omnivores, and an omnivore eats both plants and animals. So what are you guys? Are you guys herbivores, carnivores, or omnivores? Raise your hand if you only eat plants. Nope, me neither. Are you a vegetarian, Keandra? Oh, okay. Raise your hand if you only eat meat, if you're a carnivore. Okay, and raise your hand if you eat both. Maybe you like salads, but you like meats too. That's me, I'm an omnivore. Okay? So before any of these sea turtles are born, the female must make a trip back to the beach she was born on. She digs a hole, and guess how many eggs she can lay at one time? How many do you think? You think that a sea turtle, maybe like a human, only lays one egg at a time? How many do you think that they will lay? Can you show me on your hands? How many do you think they lay 2 eggs at a time, a sea turtle? Well, guess what? A sea turtle might lay up to 100 eggs at a time. 100, okay? So they lay them in the sand, and then they cover those 100 eggs with more sand so that they get protected. Then they go back to the sea. So the mommy sea turtle waits for those eggs to hatch in the sea, and she waits for them to swim out there. In a few months, the baby turtles, or hatchlings, come out of the sand. The hatchlings don't have their mother to tell them what to do. So remember some of our hints. We don't want to turn lights on. We want to be careful not to step on the sea turtle nest. So all of those things are important. Their instincts tell them that they need to go right to the water, because we know sea turtles can breathe air, but they also go to the water for all of their food, okay? Sea turtles are endangered. That means that there's not a whole lot left in the world, so we want to be very, very careful to try to help those little baby hatchlings get to the water. There's not many left. People have to be sure not to pollute our beaches and oceans so sea turtles can swim safely in the water. All right, so can you think back to yesterday? What's one way we can help to try to help our endangered sea turtles? Like, how can we help them so that they stay safe? Let me All right, Gemma, what do you think? What do we do to help them?
Don't throw plastic in the ocean.
You got it, don't throw plastic. All right, Zuriel, what's one way you think we can help sea turtles?
Pick up trash.
Yeah, absolutely. Even if it's not your own trash, picking up trash on the beach would be very, very important. All right, Keandra, what do you think? Yeah, if you're staying at a hotel or something, maybe turn off those lights at nighttime so the turtles don't get tricked to thinking that's where the beach is, because they see the light of the moon or the sun out on the horizon of the water. So that's how they know how to get there. You're right. You guys remembered everything from yesterday. Good job. All right. So next step, we're going to see how we do with a little math help and some new words. So I don't know if you can see my words up here, but these are the words we're going to talk about for math today. The word cube, rectangular prism, sphere, cylinder, and cone. What do those words all have in common? Does anyone know what types of shapes those are? Has anybody heard of a sphere or a cone before? You have? What types of shapes are they? Zuriel, what do you remember about them? Are they flat shapes, like on a piece of paper? You got it. They're three-dimensional shapes. You're right. So we're going to start off with a cube. So I found a little die. This is a single die. If you have two of them, then you have dice, okay? So my die is actually a cube because all 6 sides, the top, bottom, front and back, and the two sides, all 6 sides are all squares. So that's what makes a cube three-dimensional. And if you look, put them really close. Whoa. If you look, these cubes actually have a smaller cube inside. So it's like a cube inside a cube. Pretty neat, huh? All right, the next shape I have is a rectangular prism. So if I hear the word rectangle, I think of a 4-sided shape. So this rotini, this spaghetti box, is a rectangular prism because on the top and bottom, you can see it has a rectangle. It has 4 sides, it has 4 right angles, and these 2 sides are the same, and these 2 are the same. And the top and the bottom are the same on my box, okay? So this rectangular prism is a box, but we have rectangles connecting it, okay? Remember some of these words because I'm gonna have different shapes and see if you can identify them. The next one, this one's gonna make you hungry. I have a cylinder. A cylinder has a circle on the top and a circle on the bottom. This is called my base, and it's connected by one big rectangle stretched around it. So this Pringle can is called a cylinder, okay? Circles on top and bottom, a rectangle around the side. Next, I have a sphere. This is like our planet, okay? A sphere is not flat. I can hold it in my hand, and there's a center point, and the whole outside, everything's equidistant. It's all the same from that center point. So this is a sphere, like a ball. And last but not least, we have a cone. A cone has a circle on the top, and then it comes down to one point at the bottom. Unfortunately, I didn't have an ice cream cone to show today, but all of these are 3D shapes. So I'm going to show you some different ones, and let's see if you can tell me what you think they are. How about, I have a can of almonds. Do you think this can of almonds is a cube, a rectangular prism, a sphere, a cylinder, or a cone? Gemma?
A cylinder?
Yeah, this is a cylinder. So it has a circle on the top and bottom, and it's connected with a big rectangle. Okay, how about a basketball? Is a basketball a cube, rectangular prism, sphere, cylinder, or cone? What do you think my basketball is? Zuriel? Not a cylinder. A cylinder has a rectangle. Cube, rectangular prism, sphere, cylinder, or cone? Yes, Viannalise?
A rectangle.
I'll give you a hint. It starts with an S.
Cylinder?
Not cylinder, Zuriel. It's a sphere. Everybody say that word. Sphere. Sphere. Anytime you have a ball, whether it's big or even if it's a little one, this is for paddle ball. So these are all spheres, okay? What about, ooh, I have a box of tissues. What do you think about my box of tissues? Is it all squares on the sides, or are there some rectangles? Yes, Viannese?
Rectangle.
Yeah, so this is called a rectangular prism because it has rectangles connecting the sides. Good job. And I have one more shape. A big can of coffee. What would you think this big can of coffee is going to be? Gemma?
A cylinder?
Yeah, this is a cylinder. So look at this. I have 3 different sizes of cylinders, but they're all cylinders because they all have circles on the top. You can see, and they all connect with one rectangle. So if I took off this wrapper here and I laid it flat, this wrapper would be just a big old rectangle, okay? So those are our 3D shapes. What's different between a 3D shape and a 2D shape? Like, what's different between a cube and a square? What's different, do you think? Here's my cube. What makes it different to have a cube or a sphere? Or a cube or a square? Is a square 3-dimensional? Or is a square flat? It's flat, right? So I could draw a square flat on a piece of paper, but I can't draw a 3-dimensional cube because it has a length, a width, and a height. So that's what makes 3D shapes different. They have length, width, and height. If you're looking at flat shapes like triangles and squares, they only have lengths and widths, so they're flat on paper. Maybe like Flat Stanley, he's only 2-dimensional, but us humans, we're all 3-dimensional. All right, good job. So those are our 3D shapes. We're going to talk a lot about those shapes as we work this week. Next in math, I have some questions to see if we can remember. These are my sea turtle questions. And I have a question mark over a missing number. So this problem says, what number plus 5 equals 15? Zuriel? 10 plus 5 is 15. Nice job. This is actually an equation. An equation has numbers, operations, equals, and answers. So good job. All right. Next one. 10 plus what number is 19? Gemma?
9.
9. 2 plus what number is 4? Keandra?
2.
2 plus 2 is 4. You guys are so good at this. Uh-oh. I don't know. This one's a little tricky. 1 plus what number is 1? What can you add to anything and it always stays the same? Yes, Vianice?
0.
0. You're right. You guys are like super smart at these problems, these equations. 8 plus what number is 9? Zuriel?
1.
Okay. 5 plus what number is 10? Keandra?
5.
Yeah. 2 plus what number is 5? Yes, Vianice?
3.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Here we got another 0. Let's see. What number plus 0 is 4? Gemma?
4.
Ooh, I heard 4. Okay, I got 4 more, so everybody else gets 1 more. Let's see, Keandra. What number plus 4 is 7?
4.
Say it again.
4.
No, 4 plus 4 makes 8. What's 1 less than 4?
3.
3 plus 4 makes 7. Okay. Zuriel, this one's for you. 6 plus what number makes 12? 6. And yes, Vianice, what number plus 2 makes 8? What do you think? What number plus 2 makes 8? I lost your picture, yes, Vianney, so I'm not sure if you're still there. Zuriel, can you help her out? What do you think? 6? All right, Gemma, this one's for you. What number plus 4 makes 12? What number plus 4 makes 12? Gemma?
11?
No, not 11. If you count on from 4, how many more to get to 12? So when we count on, we're going to start at 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How many more is that?
8.
8, right. So we had 8 plus 4 makes 12. So sometimes if you get stuck and you're not sure, you can always use the counting on strategy. So I'll show it with a different one. How about, look for a big number one. Let's see, we had 10 plus blank makes 19. So if I start at 10 in my brain, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So I count them up, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when I counted on, I had 9 more. 10 plus 9 makes 19. So it's okay to use your fingers. Sometimes that helps you just to make sure you know how many to count on with, okay? All right, awesome job, you guys. I wasn't sure if those would be tricky or not. You guys just did like 5th grade math. I hope you are proud of yourselves because making equations and solving for a missing number like that question mark, that's like big time math stuff, 5th grader stuff. So you guys pat yourselves on the back. You did a really good job, okay? Do you guys have any questions so far? Good so far? All right, so we identified our parts of our turtle. We learned a couple more definitions to our vocabulary words. We talked about 3-dimensional shapes today, and we talked about our cruise activities. So today, when you are done with the Zoom, what I want you to do is to go onto the Google Classroom, and when you click on today's date, which is 7/21, you're going to see your journal that says, what should you pack for your cruise ship? And we already talked about some ideas, and you can write them down and add your pictures, and that will be good to go. Did anybody watch yesterday's video on mindfulness about Diggary-Doo? Good, okay. So today's book from Diggary-Doo is all about diversity. So every day I'm going to put a different one, and I really hope you guys enjoy those stories. And then if you need to play this video back at all, I am recording at the same time. So this I'll put on the Google Classroom too, in case you want to go over any of those vocabulary words again, okay? Sound good? All right, so remember, keep the book for today and tomorrow, and then on Thursday we're going to do our rock painting. So if you can keep your rock painting kit for Thursday, that's what we're going to work on, alrighty? All right, Keandra, do you have a question?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't got that one painting kit.
Did you get the red bag?
Yeah.
Okay, let me show you. It might look like this, maybe something like this. Was there a big box inside that was either yellow or white? It should be a big box. Nothing like this? Okay. All right, Keandra, I'm going to drop another one off, okay, so that you have it for Thursday. You didn't move your house. It's the same one? Okay, I'll drop you off another one. Does everybody else have their kit for Thursday? Okay, awesome. So we're going to paint on Thursday. So make sure you don't wear like a nice shirt or something in case you get any paint on it, okay? All right, does anybody else have questions? I think tomorrow we're also going to have Siani coming. I'm going to drop her bag off because she didn't get it yet. So I'm going to drop her bag off today. And maybe, Keandra, maybe I'll drop yours off today on my way because I got to go to work a little bit later. Is someone going to be at your house? Okay, I'll drop yours off today then too. And then we'll work on those on Thursday. Sound good? All right, ladies, I'm so happy to see you. I'll see you all tomorrow at noon, okay? Bye.